Welcome back to the Librarian's Midnight Library. You have stepped into the cold marble expanse of the Hall of Echoes. Here, the air is thin and the taste of ozone, for this is where the what ifs of the world come to haul. Today, we open a blueprint that was never built, a story of a man who looked too closely at the paths he didn't take. Let us begin. In a city made of grey stone and constant drizzle lived a man named Silas. Silas was an architect of record, which meant his job was to ensure that buildings stayed exactly as they were drawn. He was a man of precision, of straight lines and cold facts. But Silas had a secret affliction. He could see the ghost paths. Whenever Silas stood at a crossroads, whether it was a literal street corner or a choice between two jobs, he would see a faint shimmering trail stretching away from the path he actually chose. He saw the life where he had moved to the coast. He saw the life where he had married the girl in the yellow dress. He saw the life where he had become a painter instead of a man of blueprints. For years, Silas ignored the ghost, but as he grew older, the what ifs became louder than his own reality. He began to spend his evenings in a private study, drawing a map of his unlived lives. He called it the Great If. He became obsessed with the mystery of identity. If I am the sum of my choices, he wondered, then who is the man who made the other ones? Is he more real than I am? One night, the curiosity became a hunger. Using a compass made of magnetized bone and a mirror polished until it reflected the air itself, Silas found a way to step sideways. He stepped off his own timeline and into the hall of echoes, the space between the lives he could have led. It was a labyrinth of glass. In every pane, Silas saw a different version of himself. In one, he was laughing in a garden. In another, he was a lonely sailor on a dark sea. In a third, he was a king of a country that didn't exist. He ran from glass to glass, touching his hand to the surfaces. He felt the warmth of the sun in the garden. He felt the salt spray of the sea. Each reflection was so vivid, so pulsing with life, that his own hands began to look pale. His own heart felt like a hollow drum. He realized that by watching all his lives, he was inhabiting none of them. He was a spectator in a gallery of his own potential. The mystery deepened when he reached the center of the hall. There he found a mirror that was completely dark, no light, no reflection, no path. He realized this was the present moment, the only place where a choice had not been made yet. It was dark because it was unwritten. It was the only place where he actually had power. Silas tried to return, but the Hall of Echoes does not like to let go of its guest. The ghost of who he could have been began to pull at his sleeves, begging him to stay and witness their stories. They shouted their regrets and their trumps into his ears until the noise was like a storm. Silas closed his eyes. He stopped looking at the glass. He focused on the single tiny weight of his own breath, the one thing the ghost didn't have. With a scream of effort, he shattered the dark mirror at the center and fell through the void. Silas woke up on the floor of his study. His maps were gone. The compass was shattered. He walked to the window and looked out at the great drizzling city. For the first time in his life, he didn't look for the ghost paths. He didn't look at the shimmering trails of the what might have been. He looked at the cobblestone beneath his feet. He felt the cold glass of the window pane. He was Silas, a man of grey stone and straight lines, and that was enough, because a life that is lived, no matter how simple, is heavier than 1,000 lives that only exist as echoes. We keep Silas' broken compass here in a well-faked line drawer. If you hold it, the needle doesn't point north. It points to the center of your own chest, reminding us that the greatest mystery is not the path we missed, but the one we are walking right now. The echoes have returned to the stone, and the paths not taken have faded back into the mist. The Hall of Echoes is a vast place, but even its corridors must eventually end. The blueprints are rolled up, the mirrors are covered, and the library is still once more until the next midnight. Stay curious, sleep well.